Hello, everybody. My name is Victor Tran, and I joined LEND program this year as a elder brother of a child with autism spectrum disorder. And one important aspect of health for me is exercise. And this year, I got the opportunity of working with Dr. Katrina Kaluzhny, a developmental behavioral pediatric fellow here at the Mind Institute with her CrossFit KAMP. So today, I'm talking about CrossFit KAMP to promote physical activity in youth with autism spectrum disorder. So first off, I want to talk about the significance of exercise for children and how individuals with autism spectrum disorder are in a particularly impacted group. According to the U.S. report card of physical activity, only 24% of children ages 6 to 17 meet the standard guideline of 60 minutes of exercise or more per day. And according to a meta-analysis of some databases, there's a correlation of autism spectrum disorder to decreased physical activity and increased sedentary behavior. And this deficit may lead to diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and osteoporosis. And a previous publication that I looked into tested a 14-week karate training structured exercise, and they found improved communication in individuals with neurological and psychiatric conditions. So now I'm going to talk about what is CrossFit KAMP. KAMP is actually an acronym, stands for Kids with Autism Making Pals. And it's a structured exercise course adapted from CrossFit Kids, which is a class that adults can take to learn how to teach CrossFit skills to children while incorporating fitness and fun together. And it's a experimental design led by Dr. Kaluzhny. And this is randomized, waitlist controlled. It includes pre-intervention surveys and scales where parents and participants rated. The intervention, which is the 14 weeks of CrossFit training. We follow up post-intervention, as well as 8 weeks after intervention. So the aims of KAMP, to examine the effects of the potentially beneficial effects of structured peer exercise on using functional movements and games on children with autism spectrum disorder. And DSM-5 criteria that we are trying to benefit is social communication deficits and restrictive repetitive behaviors. And also autism spectrum disorders sometimes is accompanied by motor deficits and behavioral emotional symptoms such as poor temper or anxiety. So all of the above can lead to low self-esteem and lack of desire to participate in things like exercise. We also want to examine whether participants will make a PAL during the intervention, which is an aspect of social skills. And of course, improved health through exercise in multiple aspects. So my specific purpose with CrossFit KAMP is to provide a qualitative analysis. I want to observe the effects of structured exercise on participants' attitude towards exercise. I want to observe the effects of group activities with like peers on the participants' social skill development. I want to know any encouraging outcomes by the end of the training, and to explore a complementary option that children with autism spectrum disorder may take to lead a healthy lifestyle and develop as a well-rounded individual. So my hypothesis for this year is that participants will show positivity towards exercise after participating in our intervention. Parents will note the same. Participants will show improved social skills by befriending another peer, and parents will note the same. And so my methods of approaching this was participating as the assistant coach during KAMP, the 14 weeks. So participants of this is 2 different sessions. All participants are age 8 to 11 with the autism spectrum disorder diagnosis. Group 1 had a total of 10, and Group 2 had a total of 5. And here's a quick rundown of our schedule. We are outside the Mind Institute twice a week for an hour. And we do warm-up, skills practice, workout of the day, and we have a structured game at the end. And notice that we play all variations of tag. And, So next up, I would like to show you demonstrations of the skills practice by me and some of my pals.
1, let's count everybody. 2, 3, 4, 5, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, I hope you guys all enjoyed that. So, along with participating in camp, I'll develop observations along the way to develop case examples. And things I'm looking for is enjoyment of exercise, excitement and willingness to participate, interactions with other peers, improved confidence in their movements, and any other notable changes that we'll want to see. And lastly, I formulated a Likert scale with the help of Dr. Kalushny, and it includes some open-ended questions to help with observation. And here's the example of the Likert scale that we developed. Notice that in every box I typed in the score contribution to the scaled score. And here at the bottom, we have our open-ended questions, which includes what was your favorite part of camp? And for parents, did you notice any major improvements? And of course, we do ask, did you make a pal to both the parents and the child? And once the scoring is all said and done, we have a minimum score of 10 and a max score of 50, with 30 being neutral. So we're looking at 35 being a positive regard, 25 being a negative. Now, time for the results. So averaging the responses from both groups, we have participants coming in at approximately 37 on the score for the physical activity questionnaire. Parents is approximately 36. And 12 out of 15 children mentioned that they made a PAL. And the 11 out of 15 parents agreed. And I would just like to spend some time talking about some observations I made. So we have group 1, participant 18. He scored extremely high because he just had such a positive regard towards exercise. He encourages others with high enthusiasm for activities. I believe he was a positive influence on the other peers because he's always doing high fives, helping hands, and challenging others. And he often initiates greetings and farewells to everybody he sees. The next up is group 2 participant number 4. He scored in 37 or 36. His motor skills in regards to CrossFit KAMP improved. He had high enthusiasm to continue getting better at those movements. And he came early to do warm-ups and consistently finished entire routines no matter how difficult it got. And with this case, group 2 participant 7, I wanted to showcase the possible generalizability of CrossFit KAMP. This participant resembled the more typical case of autism spectrum disorder. He was very unsocial, had high behavioral symptoms. He hated exercise, as you can see by his score. But during observation, it was a different story. He went from no participation to eventually participating in the whole routine and willingness to integrate and give ideas to the team as well. He went from being highly reserved to showing more sociability with everybody. And parents noted that his enthusiasm to show others outside of camp what he learned during camp. So here are just some of the open-ended questions or how parents answered the open-ended questions. They said more relaxed, less fidgety, more social, more expressive. Kids are getting along, having a laugh. It was a good environment with similar peers. Peers felt self-assured, less anxious, slept better, and happier overall, and it helped his interaction, made new friends. So my conclusions: participants' attitude towards exercise was observed to be positive after participating in camp. Observations noted that CrossFit KAMP members developed their social skills by making pals. Participants seemed to have less insecurity with their exercise ability by working with like individuals. I believe CrossFit KAMP may be a great addition to improve health through exercise, whether it's physical health or developmental. So now we have our limitations and improvements. Since our training year was so short, I did not match the timeline of the experiment too well, so I lacked comparison groups because I couldn't follow the participants from pre-intervention all the way to the 8-week follow-up. I would like to code observations possibly next time to have more quantifiable numbers instead of just having a case study, and take a bigger look into improvement of motor deficits such as toe walking and motor coordination. So next steps, CrossFit KAMP will continue and be published as experimental results showing the benefit of structured exercise on the development of children. And hopefully by me speaking today, we can support the development of exercise programs like CrossFit KAMP in our community to specialize in helping with children with autism spectrum disorder or other neurodevelopmental disabilities.
The UC Davis Mind Institute was created in 1998 with a promise to find cures for neurodevelopmental disorders. Every day, our physicians and researchers come closer to fulfilling that promise. Their groundbreaking research on autism, Fragile X syndrome, chromosome 22q11.2 deletion syndrome, ADHD, and other brain disorders are helping children achieve their fullest potential. Please visit our website to find out more about current studies, upcoming events, and how you can help make a difference.